Now, I want to first walk you through a very simple swing trading reversal strategy that is the only strategy that I use trading. Trading doesn't have to be complicated. You really just need one strategy to follow to be successful in the market. Now, I just want to show you some of the success I've been having with this strategy. And so this is a equity curve of my profits with my account trading this strategy. And so this is just to walk you through this. This is from when I started with this account, which was about 3.5 months ago. And over that time period, I have made a cumulative profit of $3,500. And that is on an account that started at about $5,000. Currently, it's at $8,500 because of those profits. And so over that time period, if we do a little math, that comes up to just under 75% return on my account in under 4 months. So that is insanely good return for the account percentage-wise. And that is all you're trying to do when it comes to trading. If you can be profitable with a small account, you can scale up and be profitable with a large account. And with this strategy, I am not winning every trade by any means. I only win about 40% of the time, but because it is a reversal strategy, my profits are larger than my losses. So over time, as I pick the right spots, I'm able to accumulate profits consistently over time. And so the basic idea of what I'm doing is all I'm looking for is high probability areas in the market for a reversal. And that is just a reversal off of horizontal support and resistance. And so how I draw those is I just look for 2 reversals in the same area and then draw a resistance level to look for a short to bet that the market's going to go lower if it comes up to that spot again. So in this instance, the market touched here twice. So I'm going to just draw a box and I'm going to see when the market comes up to touch here again, I'm going to look to bet that the market is going to go lower. And because of this, my risk is very small versus how much profit I can capture on the trade. And so this really helps when you're actually making money in trading. And this is the exact same thing on the flip side for a support level. You look for 2 reversals in the same area, and then the third time that it comes back and tests that area, you look to take a reversal off of that. And so all I'm doing in this strategy is using support and resistance levels and looking for reversals. What this does is it simplifies trading and allows you to focus on key areas in the market. Trading is already insanely complicated, and often people overcomplicate things trying to master or understand every aspect of the market. You do not need to do that to make money consistently trading. All you need to do is stay consistent with a strategy to have success trading. And now the trick is with these levels is that I draw my support and resistance levels off of a larger time frame chart than I trade. And so I often trade on a 1-minute chart, but I draw my support and resistance levels off of a 5 or a 15-minute chart. And so what that does is it allows me to focus on the areas of support and resistance that are more important. Because the larger your chart, the stronger the levels are and those reversals are, meaning that you're going to be focusing on areas where there is a higher probability that the market is going to potentially find support or resistance there. And then trading on a smaller time frame chart of a 1 minute, this allows me to get in more accurately and quickly as the market starts to reverse at that level. Now to show you what I mean on an actual chart, here we are on the ES futures of a 15-minute chart. Now you can trade this on whatever you want. Technical analysis really can work on any kind of market, but I have focused on the ES futures and the MES futures because the futures allow you to scale a lot easier with a small account compared to trading something like stocks. Now to quickly walk you through some levels that I've drawn, just to show you what I mean, is here is a support level that I drew off of these two swings to the downside. And once I saw that this had reversed, I then put this box in based off of where the market had chopped around and bottomed. And you can see here the market bounced off of it here, and then actually it made a really big bounce over here as well. And so this can help you just spot areas of importance. And then on the top side, you can see there is a resistance level up here and a resistance level drawn off here as well. And you can see the market was bouncing off of it quite frequently. Now, it's not always going to work. Here you can see it did blow through this resistance level and did pull back some, but you're not always going to be right in trading. And that's why we have that risk reward on our side when we go for higher profit than what we're risking. Pretty easily see here, if you took this trade down here and were able to catch this swing up, that's a lot more reward than what you're potentially risking down here versus going all the way up there. Now I want to walk you through some trades I actually took off of these levels to show you some real examples of this strategy in real time. So let's just start with today. These are the levels I was focusing on for today's trading, based off of these swings here for the lows, and then this high that happened yesterday, and then also some of these highs here as well. And so going into the market, that's what I have for my levels. And then I watch the market. If we switch to a 1 minute chart here, this is where I actually look for trades. And so the market opened up here about 6:30 and then started to bounce around. And so here you can look for shorts when the market tries to go into the resistance level that we have. And then on the downside, you can also look for longs. Now, if we jump into a recording of my trade today, I can actually walk you through this trade I took based on these levels. And so when we get to one of these levels, we need to have some kind of catalyst that the market is going to reverse. We want a reversal signal that tells us when we should actually get in, because we don't want to just be blindly buying or selling at these levels, because that is a good way to be wrong often. We want to have a signal of when to get in. And so those signals are pretty simple. That can be something like a double bottom, a double top, a higher low, a lower high, or even something like a kind of a fail breakout and a really strong reversal higher. And so that is currently what is happening right here. The market attempted to go lower, and then you can see this current bar is reversing higher. And you can see here it starts to get some momentum by this quick movement, and it breaks and closes above a lot of these bars. And you can see it's a pretty large bar compared to the last couple of bars. And so for me, that with being at our support zone is a strong enough reason to get in. And so based on that, I get in on a long, betting that we are going to reverse down here and we are going to change this downtrend into an uptrend. And so to just zoom through this, because this trade takes a while, because today was pretty sluggish. You can see it's moving back and forth a lot, and when it's like that, it's likely to continue to do that. How I manage these trades is I have actually recently started actively managing them, but I started having a fixed profit target of 2 times or 3 times my risk. And so that's what I suggest that you start at, because actively managing a trade is very hard and complicated. And when you're first starting to learn trading, you want to keep things as simple as possible, because there's so much going on, and trying to actively manage your trades is a very easy way to get yourself in trouble when you're just starting out. And when it comes to it, entries are the most important thing to your success as a trader, and it's best to focus on that right away. Now, once this thing does start to get moving, I start to trail my stop up, and I looked to actually get out of this once this little uptrend was broken, because there was actually some market news coming up in the near future, and I didn't want that to mess up my trade and potentially reverse on me quickly, because when the market goes up quickly like this, it's likely to quickly move back down, or it can. So currently though, this trade, I'm up about $500 or $600. And so that is about 2x and 3x is right here of my risk. And so this is a really good trade. You don't necessarily need to be taking the trade all the way to the other end of the range you have, or a resistance level if you're trading off a support level. All you're looking for is, generally on average, I get 2 to 3 times my risk as a trade. And so if you start at a fixed risk reward, which I highly suggest, 2 to 3 times is a great spot, because that's generally what I get to begin with. And so once it kind of breaks that downtrend, I get out of the trade at a nice profit of about $500, I believe the account was saying earlier in the video. And that's it for the day. You don't need to be taking many trades during this strategy, and you don't need to be trading all day. And if we quickly go over to the live version of this chart, as you can see, here was that news, and it did make the market go crazy. Now, technically, if I held, it would have gone up a lot more, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, you don't know that, right? And in reality, I am perfectly happy with getting out here, getting that easy money, and moving on to the next day. You don't need to be having home runs when it comes to trading. You just need to be consistently taking good, profitable trades. Now, if we just quickly zoom back out to our 15-minute chart to look at some more levels, I want to walk you through one more trade here, and that is just based off of this resistance level up here. So we're actually going to look at a short. And so all I did was, because the market came up and made a double top here on, again, our 15-minute chart, when the market came and touched it up here in the next trading day, I looked for a reversal, and you can see the market sold off pretty well from there. And again, there was even a trade down here as well where it reversed back up. So just to jump into a 1-minute chart to quickly show you that, all the way over here, you can see the market popped up here and then reversed off of that. So now let's look at a live recording of that trade. Is once the market came up and touched this level, again, we want to just look for that reversal catalyst. And so what that for me here is, you can see the market, this is where the market opens. I'm at Pacific Coast time, so it opened at 6:30 a.m. And the market then went up, right up into our level pretty much, chopped around a little bit. And you can see again, just like that last trade, actually, we had a really strong move up, and then it flushes all the way down in a really big bearish bar. And so just based on that, I wanted to get in and see if the market was going to move lower. And so this trade worked a lot faster because the market was a lot more volatile on this day, and I was able to take this trade down to the essentially the lows that we had of that support level. And so this is really all I'm looking for every day. And in the past, I have struggled. When I first started learning to trade, I was trying to find strategies that were able to tell me what to do all the time. Or even when I was trading, I was always trying to look for how I could profit in every scenario. Like on days where the market is in a really strong uptrend, I sometimes don't take any trades. This strategy doesn't find trades every single day, but you don't have to make money every single day trading to be making money consistently over the long run. If you don't make money on Wednesday or Thursday, but you had a really good Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, well, that was still a really good week, and you can be happy with that and move on. And so that's what this strategy does, is it allows you to just focus on the high probability areas of reversal, get a really good risk reward potential, and allows you to just focus on what's important in trading. And often people struggle with overcomplicating trading. And so that's why I want to show you this strategy, is because I have had a ton of success simplifying my trading and almost dumbing things down and forcing myself to just simplify things almost to where it seems a little silly, but that is what works. Because in the past for me, maybe this has been for you too, is overcomplicating and trying to have all these fancy and crazy indicators has just not worked out. And so this trade, kind of like the last one, ended in a tight downwards trend. And once I got started to get towards this support level, well, for actively trading, I want to tighten up my stop. And so my thought is, okay, as soon as this breaks, I want to get out of this trade. And maybe I'll give it a couple of candles to see, maybe it'll have a little pullback and then keep going down. I can move my stop here. But I don't want to give it that much room to go against me because, well, you don't want to get greedy with trading. I have caught pretty much the whole swing here. And so it doesn't get much better than that. And so that is what you want to do when trading. You want to just get out when things look like they're going to reverse. And so here you can see it had these two little bars here. It starts to reverse, and so that's good enough for me. If the market looks like it's going to, if the market's going to keep going higher, it's going to probably make a higher low here and reverse back up. And so I want to get out if it does that because I don't want to give any more on my profits. But I also don't want to just get out here because, well, I don't know what the market's going to do, right? It could just keep going down. That's the important thing when it comes to a strategy in the market, is you don't have to be predicting what the market is going to do all the time. You just have to stick to your strategy and consistently try and get things to work. I definitely have losses where you'll get in a short right here and the market will keep chopping and just keep going higher. And so, of course, this doesn't work every time. My win rate is, I think, only about 40%, but because of my risk reward ratio, that works out in the long run. And so there you can see I ended up getting out of the trade, and that is perfectly okay. If we actually just zoom forwards here, it was really good that I got out of that trade there because you can see the market did end up reversing from there. And that's okay that I missed the reversal on the way back up. Again, you're not going to hit every trade, and that's totally okay. Now, if you want to learn more about a strategy, check out the links in the description or comments below, and feel free to check out my other YouTube videos because that is all I will really be making content on, is focusing on this strategy, because this is what I found has been very successful to me, and I think it is very easy for someone else to start to reproduce success with it because it is very, very simple of a trading strategy.